Born of a Cabra father and a Mary's Mansion's mother. I'm a Ballymun baby, Eamon Kent Tower, but it was in Darndale where my roots took flower. In Tulip, Marigold Court, Primrose, Buttercup, Snowdrop Walk. Back in my day, it was Dublin Cuig. The gaffs faced round the other way when I was ground the Gruig. Bounced the ball in the square, fled the legger down the lane. So the archers were there to protect you from the pounding rain. Borrowed Bonya from a neighbour, sourced the sweets from the van. Then a bit of brown and a looser, thinking me a big man. Someone from the Dale of the Darn is going to spin a yarn, more significant than Animal Farm. Someone from the view of the moat is going to nail a note, pin it on a cynic like an antidote dope quote. Someone from the camp of the bell is going to outcast a spell, when a wizard, what a witch, a rhyme chiming and prob a bell. Meanwhile, there's more of the Eden, hairline receding, though barely teething, stood scarcely believing that all of them other places full of the concrete scheming, be also indulging earnestly in that escapist dreaming. And we all share so much similar breeding, and stroll and stomp and duck dive and weave, and geographically, affably I have walked these zones, occasionally acoustically accompanied by the headphones, and I've witnessed quite identifiably identical homes, and sometimes I've listened to sensible songs and passionate poems. You see, this is where I'm from, my roots, my ground. This be where me be born, and me third eye feels bound to the concrete of any corner gaff. I'm sound with the coastline, even if it's in a photoshopped photograph, and I'm linked to the famine, parted the boom, tasted the salmon, excuse me, and I've prayed to the moon. And I'm tied to the chestnuts, the sycamore tree, tied to the state and its scaremongery. Oh, this is where I'm from, my stem, my sky, my once upon amen, my reason why I feel bound to the begging of any street urchin. Sound slow snogging at the hippie hop lurchin. Linked to the Viking, part of the rising, tasted the biting, sample downsizing. I'm tied to the ink in the proclamation, tied to the Emmy and the migration, tied to the core of a civil rights struggle, tied to the core of a Moore Street haggle. It is my street, it's your street, not a high street, Moore Street. It's a fruit and veg, fish and flower street. Moore Street is our street. This is where I'm from, my soil, my space, my sky, my stem, my time, my place. I'm bound to the bog, bound to the brick. Sound is a pound when I'm taking the mick, and I'm linked to the Brits and I'm part of the Gaeltacht. Tasted the myths, learned the Mocha-Neeloch. Tied to the source of a Shanachie story, tied to its roots, to its source, to its cormy. Ireland, Eire, Emerald Oil. It lived itself large, now recharged that mobile. If only we'd have kept it tighter for a wee while, we wouldn't have so many of our young folk in X. I'll Shangri-La when I go home, with the pen and pad composing Om. Rock the metaphor, ring the silly bell, up home, my true love, fare thee well. Mount you come in form or flow, find your feet stroll soft and slow. Know that you will never die, so pass or boy, please cast cold. I am a native of Dublin, on a crusty slice of Brennan's born and bred. I've outgrown the north and south divide, long conquered that nut out of this simple head. An introspective Leinster lad with much affection for the Munster. I'd cuddle any coddle from Connacht and kiss the love of any colour from Ulster. An ordinary Irishman, quite content to cross the water. From Coolock I've travelled Europock, crisscross lots of border, and I feel blessed, for on my adventure I've met many, many good folk. People sound enough to laugh even though it wasn't such a good joke. People who treated me respectfully made me want to be a good bloke, and I reciprocated because nice people make good folk. Be Jesus, kindness begetifies common decency. Compassion is truly best friends with the empathy, and OMG, tolerance isn't overly demanding, and peace actually loves understanding, not war, not hate, not ignorance. One life, one spin, one dance, perchance I learn what you teach. You are the shore on my beach, I'm the stone in your peach, and you reach and teach where I reach and teach, because everyone is a soul role model. We're hard to lend life, love, a lottle. Courage to protect each other from the blows. Strength to lift each other up out of the lows. We all be naturally born superheroes. Each to mind each, I suppose. Best of luck with you listening, talking and thinking today, folks.